Hello. Hey, hey, can you guys hear me? I forgot to test. Anyways, how are you? You ready to get started? All right, let me know when you're here. Let me know where you're from. We're going to get started on accentuating the positive. And we're going to talk about these in two areas in our life. We're going to hit I coach a lot of business women, so we're going to be talking about accentuating the positive in our business. Okay, and number two, we're going to talk about accentuating the positive in our personal style. So those are the two areas we're going to cover today. There's just so many things that what we put our energy on is what we're going to be feeding. That's what we're paying attention to. So we are going to want to focus on the things that are positive, the things that we want to focus on, that we want to see, and we're going to let the other negative things fall wherever they land. We're not going to pay attention to them. We're just going to focus on the things we want to put our energy into. All right. So from the business point of view, if you are a woman of business, let's talk about what I get a lot. I have a lot of women that will say, I am too fill in the blank. I am too old. I am too young. And like, that is the funniest one. It's almost like we're never the perfect age to get started on a business. We're either too young. We don't feel like we have the experience. We feel like there's a lot of things we need to do, or we're too old. That part of is behind you. And it's kind of like, we never really fit the perfect age, right? And so I want us to look at the time is now. This Friday and Saturday, I'm doing a advance your styling business 2-day workshop, and it's going to be fabulous. So if you are currently a stylist, or you're an aspiring stylist, you want to learn more about style, there's something about style that will help your business flourish, then I would love to see you there. You just go to styleguidesociety.com/style, and I will put that in the comments. But let me know where you're from. Let me know that you're here. I'd love to know who I'm chatting with today. I would like this to be a two-way conversation. So we're going to be looking at the positive, right? We're going to be looking at, you have this passion, you have this desire to get started. So let's look at that. You're not too old. You're not too young. The time is now. If you have the passion that is, you're ready to get started. Maybe I'm just going to tell a little story about myself. I graduated with a 4-year degree in fashion merchandising and a minor in marketing. And I loved my degree. I worked with Calvin Klein jeans, and I actually traveled the Southwest states and did a lot of merchandising for them, training. I did fashion shows for Calvin Klein jeans, and I absolutely loved my career path. It was like my dream job, other than moving to New York and working there. But I was living in Arizona. I just graduated from college, and I was, I created this career that I absolutely loved. Then from there, I ended up raising a family, and I wasn't able to travel like I was before. And I was raising my children, and around 40 years old, I was like, wait a minute, I feel like there's more. There's more that I want to do. Raising my family is super important and is like the best job ever, right? But I was being called to something else. And this is where my passion comes from right now with helping women, is I just felt like a frumpity frump, frumpzilla. I just was all about my family. I had lost who I was. I was not concerned about, as much as I would like to, about how I was presenting myself, well, how I was using my superpower that we've talked about a lot here in Style Guide Society, about like activating that superpower so you're operating at your highest level. And when I woke up out of the mom haze and just said, wait a minute, this is not what, there's more to my life that I wanted at 40 years old. And I just kind of had this feeling is I have other things. I have women I need to impact. I need to share all the knowledge that I have about fashion and style, and how it can make you feel, and how it can, create and help creativity, how you could feel beautiful, look beautiful, and just operate at our highest level. And that is where my passion comes from. And this is why I do what I do. And as we look at accentuating the positive, I could have said, and I did say, you know what, I'm 40 years old. This is maybe, my opportunity to start my business, to start this magazine that I had a dream of starting, a while ago, or being re-entering the career field. I'm like past that. I'm too old. They want younger people, right? But then as I started looking, I started noticing that there was this gap in the fashion industry. And I'm 46 now. I'm not 40 anymore. But when I was 40, I started looking, and I'm like, there is this gap. The women 40 and over are not being served the way that they need to be. They don't need to wear the clothes that the 20 and 30-year-olds, they look really cute in it, but our bodies have changed. We're different. We're at a different phase in our life, and we may not want to wear the same things that we wore when we were in our 20s and our 30s. And when I saw this gap and really wanted to have this need met, that is where I just really felt like I aligned with my passion and my purpose and my experience and my knowledge. And it just all came together into this beautiful package. And as we look into accentuating the positive, I want you to look at where you're at, how you are doing, and how you can really make impact at whatever age. If you are 25, then you make that impact at 25. If you have this motivation, if you have this desire that has been planted inside your heart. And so I just want to remind you that to look for the positive things of that are towards your goals that you're going to. We're going to be removing those blocks that might be holding you back. Whatever excuses your brain's telling you that you can't do what these dreams and these desires that you have, you can do it. And I'm excited for the workshop. If you would love to attend on Friday and Saturday, I'd love to have you. So I want to remind you, and there's 4 things I want you to, the business women who are listening, there's 4 things. Number 1, to have a clear vision of how you want to help women. I want to help women by helping them feel and look beautiful. And as they do that they're also achieving their dreams and their desires because they're working at their highest level. What is your clear vision of how you want to help women? And then number 2 is do the research on what's out there. I know sometimes when we have had, extensive education or training or experience, we feel like we know everything in that area. But honestly, right now, there's so much changing in the world. Even with my previous experience, styling, the fashion industry is changing at a rapid pace. We need to keep up, right? We need to get up to speed and just do the research. Just make sure, are there women out there that need what you have to offer? And number 3, really quick, number 2, in your research, you want to see what your competition is. And just kind of say, what are they doing? And what can you do differently that's going to cause a disruption? So that's number 3. You want to disrupt your area of how you want to help, what your impact is, How are you going to stand out? How are you going to be seen that's different than what other people are offering? So how are you going to disrupt? How are you going to stand out? And then number 4 is make that commitment. It is, and this is why I offer life coaching in the Style and Image Academy. You guys, there's a lot of things that go on in ourselves, in our minds, that our brains are telling us that all the reasons why we're not good enough. But we're going to take a step back, and we're going to be looking at all the positive things that you have going for you, and changing your mindset of how you're looking at things so that you do see that these desires were planted in your heart for a reason, and how you can get there and how you can make that happen, and the direction that you need to be pointed to go there. You might have to make some sacrifices with your time. It takes time, right, to build. Like people say, I see you everywhere, because it takes time when you're building a business. There's some sacrifices, especially if you are under the 5-10K area. There's more sacrifices there as you're building per month, 5-10K per month. And also there's some energy that is going to go into the investment, and also like a financial investment, hiring a coach, helping you so that you don't make the same mistakes that other people have made, that you get there faster and more efficiently. All right, so those are just some tips about accentuating the positive, going for your goals and your dreams and all the things. And that I know what it feels like if you are in 40 or over, and you're like looking at some dreams that you have that you've never done before. And those are good goals, especially if you've never done them before. Keep going. You're not too old. This is perfect timing for you. And I am excited to see where you go with that. So the next part was accentuating the positive with our personal style. And there's 3 things that we look at with our personal style. So it's lifestyle, your personal taste, and then number 3 is your body shape. And so many, you guys, even people that you think have like the perfect body, everybody has something that they don't love about their body. Everyone does. There's something that they think that everybody else is looking at, whatever that is, whether they don't like their nose, they don't like their hips, they don't like their chest, they don't like their whatever. They're too short, they're too tall, you're too thin, you're too big, whatever. There's always something. And if you're styling someone or you're styling yourself, it's important to find out what they love about their body, and what's the thing that they don't love. Because what we want to do is, when we're styling someone with our personal style and our body shape, it actually affects the clothing that are going to look better on us, and then the ones that we're going to kind of like the different cuts and styles that we're going to be leaning towards. Sometimes when we talk about this, we talk about body shape and what are areas that we want to, cover up. We're going to talk about, what do we want to show? What do we want to highlight? That way we don't see the other things, right? Just like in life, there's always things going on in our life that we might not like. But as we focus on the positive things, as we accentuate the positive, we don't even have time to notice that stuff. And it's the same with our body shape. Let's focus and accentuate the positive things that we love, and let's not even think about the things that you might not like. So when we are accentuating the positive, we are highlighting the areas that we like. Now, number 1, when I style someone, I always want to draw attention to their face. Number 1, not any body part. Okay, so I want to make sure that's very, very clear. I want the woman to be seen. I want your eyes to be drawn to your face. Now, when you're dealing with style and making an outfit interesting, you can pick another area that you would like to highlight. We don't want that to be the main focus or the main focal point, because what do we want to have the main focal point be? We want that to be your face. We want people to see you and the person that you are. So that's the number one focal point, but you can choose another one. Some people really love their waist. They might have a teeny tiny waist, even if they feel like, especially if they have even might carry their weight on their hips or on their chest. But if they have a tiny waist, you can highlight that or accentuate that by adding a belt, right? Tucking in the shirt, adding a belt that might have some design to it. That's anytime you put on a belt, it's going to draw your attention to it. And with one of the style principles is, if you create a line, it's almost like creating an arrow. It's pointing to a specific area. That's what lines do. And so when you, if you want to accentuate your tiny waist, then you would put a belt on there. Okay. Or what's another way you can create a line is to have a shirt or a jacket hit you at that same spot. Okay. That also is going to create a line at your waist and kind of highlight. And you could do that with a jacket, a longer jacket that has a belt, or you can tuck in a shirt, put on a belt, and then you have your layering piece that could be adding interest. So accentuating your waist is one. Another one could be your legs. Okay, whether you're short or you're tall, you can accentuate your legs and highlight those a little bit by bringing up the hemline. I'm not saying that it needs to be a booty hemline, but you can bring up the hemline so it's not so, covering you up so much, right? Just bring it up to an attractive level where you're showing your legs. Okay, if you love your legs, that's one thing that you can do. If you love your chest, you can have like a sweetheart neckline or a V neckline. Just wear something that's a little bit lower here. That's going to highlight this area. Okay. So what's gonna minimize it is if you bring it up you are not looking at my chest at all in this outfit, right? So it's bringing your eye up to my face. I have a little ruffles here. So what I'm highlighting here in this outfit is my upper body. I didn't do this on purpose. I just happen to be wearing it. But I have more of a smaller shoulder. So I can add a little accentuate right here, especially since this is a Zoom or an online event that we're doing where people are going to see you online. And so I have a little ruffle around the top, around the sides, and this is going to, if I were going to see you in person, it would do the exact same thing that's happening now. Your eyes would come up to where I am. I'm wearing a dress right now. And then I also have these bright pink earrings that are contrasting with my dress. So that too is going to bring your eye up to your face. So sometimes you might want to accentuate something to conceal a certain area, and sometimes you just want to highlight it because it adds more interest to your outfit. Good morning, good morning. I love that it's morning time for you in South Australia. I love that. Thank you for catching live. So another way we can accentuate the positive is what else could you love? So you love, this is like highlighting my shoulders, my face with the jewelry and the ruffles. You could highlight your legs like we talked about with skirts, and your waist with belts. You could also if you have like you could also do like a monochrome outfit to like just kind of like highlight everything. It kind of like makes your eye just see everything at once. And that's another way you can accentuate the positive. But as you're looking to pick out outfits, think about, what can I wear that's going to, or maybe like, maybe you have good hips, because I don't. I don't have good hips. So I always envy women who do. You could accentuate those, right? By wearing more form-fitted. Is my Wi-Fi okay? It's telling me something's wrong. Okay. You could wear more like form-fitting pants and like tuck in those shirts and wear the higher jacket so you could see it. Where I tend to, I still kind of do that, but I like to add more interest here because I don't have a lot of shape there. Okay, right? Like I have to do the belts and then the layering piece to add more interest. But as you get dressed, think about, other than number one, your face, what is your sub highlight that you can highlight that day with your outfit to add interest, to add beauty, and to help you feel confident because you're highlighting something that you love. And then the things that you don't love about your body can fade away. We're not going to think about it because we are loving what we're highlighting. We're feeling really good, and we're going to be able to go out there and operate at our highest level. So thank you for being here to watch Well Dressed. And I hope that this helps you to live your life to be well dressed so that you can go out and live your purpose. Have a good night.